The late 1950s, where the journey of the Africanized bees began. In Brazil, biologist Warwick Kerr conducted an experiment where he crossbreeded European honeybees with very aggressive African bees. He bred these two bees in hope to cancel out the aggression and create a bee that could produce more honey and adapt better to tropical conditions. The Africanized bee, or more commonly known as the killer bee, was the outcome of this experiment. This bee is more so brown, unlike the European honeybee, which is more so yellow. October 1957, 26 Tasmanian swarms were accidentally released by a beekeeper. These swarms quickly spread out through Brazil and other parts of South America. The bees quickly began to crossbreed with European colonies, leading to more and more killer bees. Africanized honeybee behavioral traits differ greatly compared to other bees. Killer bees will attack even when unprovoked. Their temper is uncontrollable. They inherited this temper from the African bee side. These bees would rather die than back down, meaning when one bee attacks, so do all the others. They won't leave you alone without a fight. Imagine a swarm of at least 50,000 killer bees coming at you. You can hear them coming for you. What would you do? You can't run away because they will actually chase you for up to a quarter mile. They pump so much venom through their stingers into your body that the tissues start to develop their own problems. The tissues can't handle the venom. They start to disintegrate.
Well, the two park employees were operating a front end loader, removing some garbage in the park when they happened upon this hive. When they went to remove the trash, they literally spilled the bees.
My ears and right here is just throbbing with pain. It's the worst feeling, because it just had so many they wouldn't stop.
This was the nightmare Rodney Pugh and his co-workers stumbled into, and they paid the price in bee stings. What did that feel like?
Oh, like 1,000 little knives poking me in my body.
The 41-year-old says medical staff removed more than 60 stingers from his back and neck. His partner had more than 100. They were removing a pile of trash from Picnic Island Park when they lifted an old tire. It happened to be the hive of killer bees.
I'm trying to squat, and they say never squat bees. So they was all in my face, on my back, and on my shirt. So I jumped out of the payloader and ran for my office.
Because these were Africanized bees, they were relentless, chasing Pugh 75 feet down the road.
They were aggressive. They was like non-stop. And even when we got to the office, there was like a little swarm by the office.
Jonathan Simpkins with Insect IQ is called in to destroy the hive, but because of their aggressive nature, he says this will hardly be his last encounter with killer bees.
This pile of rubbish wasn't moved for 3 years. So this colony's been here and breeding and sending out colonies. The European bee will swarm once or twice a year. The African up to 17 times.
And we're right near Port Tampa. Insect IQ tells me they believe these bees came from another country, possibly South America or Africa, on board some of the port ships. Now, what makes these bees so dangerous is that they're very similar to regular honeybees. So if you happen to stumble upon a hive, you need to be extra careful, because if you disturb them before an exterminator comes out, they will attack.
Warning signs have been put out in areas where killer bees are known to be. This migration of killer bees is just at its beginning. With the killer bees' ability to adapt to different climates, they will eventually come around, even to where we live.